It is so easy to miss a planting date and then just put off gardening or planting until the entire next season. But there is so many vegetables that can be planted right now that you can still get a harvest from. And so in this video today, I'm going to be covering 7 super fast growing vegetables that you can plant right now and still get a harvest from. I'm Audrey from Audrey's Little Farm, and I help passion-driven people trailblaze their way to a life filled with happiness, plants, and chickens. So today, I'm inside shooting this video. Normally I'm out in the garden, but we're finally getting our first really good day of rain, and I didn't want to wait any longer to get this video out for you. So I'm inside, but the thing is that I get so sad when I see these gardeners just skip planting altogether because they feel that they're behind or that they're too late, when in reality there are so many vegetables that you can plant that are ready to harvest so quickly, and so you really can't be late. And even if it's a little bit too cold where you are, there are things that you can do to help germination, and we're going to be covering that at the end, so stick around. But I just wanted to shoot out a few of these vegetables that you can still plant, so that if you were feeling behind, like you didn't get to plant a fall garden but you were hoping to, and now you just feel that you have to wait till next year, you don't. So the first vegetable is arugula. Arugula can be actually harvested as a microgreen, which truthfully I've actually never planted it as a microgreen, but after doing a little bit of research today, it's something I'm definitely interested in trying. But if you plant it and then harvest it as a microgreen, you can be harvesting in about 12 days, which is really awesome. And then if you let it fully mature, it could be harvested in about 30 to 40 days. The second fastest growing vegetable on the list today is bok choy. It can be planted by seed or as a transplant, and it's usually ready to harvest in about 40 to 50 days. But bok choy does actually just grow best in more mild temperatures around 55 to 70 degrees, and so if it's gotten to be too cold where you are, you may want to skip planting bok choy. But if you're in a more mild area, it's definitely one that you should put on your list. The third fast growing vegetable is baby mixed lettuce or regular head lettuce. But the difference is baby mixed lettuce should be always directly planted by seed, and it's going to be ready to harvest much sooner, sometimes in about 25 to 30 days depending on the variety. And if you plant a head type of lettuce, such as romaine, you can plant it by seed or as a transplant, but it's going to take a little bit longer to mature, and it will usually be ready to harvest in about 50 days. Maybe a bit sooner or a bit longer depending on the variety. And before we go on to the fourth vegetable, I wanted to quickly point out that I have a free list below that I would love for you to grab at the end of this video. It'll be linked in the description, and it is a free list of all of my most favorite fall vegetable varieties to grow. I know how overwhelming it can be when you're looking through all of these vegetables and wondering what varieties to grow or even what vegetables to even start with, and so all of these vegetables I'm mentioning today are all on that list. So as soon as this video ends, I would love for you to head down into the description and grab your free list of fall vegetable favorites. You just have to put in your name and email and it will be sent right over. So now on to the fourth vegetable, which is mustard greens. Mustard greens should be planted directly by seed right into the garden, and they will be ready to harvest in about 50 to 55 days. The fifth vegetable is radishes. And depending on the variety of radish that you grow, you can be harvesting radishes in as early as 21 days. And so, for example, if you plant the radish variety called Cherry Bell, and there's many others that are really quick maturing as well, but for example, Cherry Bell radishes are ready to harvest in 21 to 28 days. Or there's a variety of radish called the daikon radish, which is a larger radish, and it's going to take a bit longer, and you're going to have to wait about 45 to 50 days to harvest. But either way, it's another really super quick maturing vegetable that you can still plant right now and get a harvest from. Sixth vegetable to grow if you want a quick maturing cool weather vegetable is spinach. Spinach is great for so many things. You could have it fresh in salads, you could put it in omelets, you could put it in soups, however it is that you want to cook it. And the great thing with spinach is that it's pretty frost tolerant, but cold tolerant, and so it can handle a light frost. And you can plant it directly by seed or as transplants, and it's ready to harvest in about 40 days. A bit longer for larger varieties, or maybe even a bit sooner for the more baby mixed spinach varieties. And then last but not least, the seventh quick maturing vegetable is the turnip. They should be planted directly by seed, and they will be ready to harvest in about 50 to 60 days. But even though each of these vegetables is quick to mature, most of the seeds for these vegetables germinate in soil that is ideally around 70 degrees or so. And so if it's too cold already where you are, you can still plant the seeds, but then you can cover your garden beds with a floating row cover or garden plastic during the day. You can even just get the little plastic trays that you start seeds in, and you can place them over the areas where you planted your seeds to warm up the soil during the day so that the seeds can germinate and then you can remove the plastic or the floating row cover and let the plants continue to grow. But if you continue to have pretty cold winter weather and the plants aren't really doing that well and you believe it's a little bit too cold for the plants to thrive, you can keep a floating row cover on your plants throughout the entire winter. And floating row covers are amazing because it lets you get so much more use out of planting with the weather that you have, whether it's too hot, too cold, whether you have insect issues. There's so much that floating row covers can do because there's different cloths that you can put on top. For example, you could put over plastic, which can warm up the soil. You can put over insect netting to keep the insects out. And I have this video right here that I would love for you to go to next, which covers the floating row covers much more in depth. And so head to that video there, check out what you can do in your garden with floating row covers, and I will see you there.